What's the best way to cook a steak? What's it like to start a business during the pandemic? What's the deal with keto? Hi, I'm Dave, and along with my partners from FourFathersFoodCo, we'll host a weekly podcast called Kitchen Mix. Each week, along with some great knowledgeable guests, we'll chat about the topics related to food, small business, nutrition, and many others. At the end of each episode, we'll share a delicious recipe, details to what we drank, and a cool DJ set.
Well. Welcome to the Kitchen Mix podcast number 2. It's our second one, and my special guest tonight, all the way from, well, I'm not going to say where you're from because we're going to talk about that, but I don't give a shit. You're from Kitchener. I want to welcome Sylvia Pond to the podcast tonight. Sylvia, welcome to the Kitchen Mix tonight.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
And we talked about, I guess you and Nelson. Nelson here is one of our partners of the Forefathers, and is my co-host tonight. He'll fill up our glass of wine many times tonight. So that's
trusty sidekick and wine pourer.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good gig, though, man. I can tell it's a pretty good gig. And Sylvia, listen, thank you for coming to my podcast. It's fantastic to have you. Finally, we talked about this. I think you were talking to Nelson about coming on board. I guess direct message and just because we loved your the posts, and we talked about the sauces back and forth, and that's how we got to connect, and here we are live in the studio, live in your kitchen. The silly kitchen you call yourself, which is great. I love it.
Yeah.
And we are live on Facebook. We are live on Facebook on the Kitchen Mix Facebook page, Life TV network. We're also on our FourFathersFoodCo network as well. So you can, and on Twitch. So we're everywhere. I mean, which is good about it. So being live, like we say, we can't stop and edit this shit out. So it's all good. Are you nervous?
Well, when the intro started, I got a little heart palpitation, but now I feel okay.
You're like, oh my God.
I never do live. Like, all my shows are pre-recorded, so I can stop and start anytime. This is new ground for me.
This is new territory for you, I tell you.
Totally.
This is great. Listen, it's our job to make you feel comfortable. So, we're just gonna, like, this whole podcast platform is like free speech, free broadcasting. Say what you want to say. There's no limits. There's no bullshit. There's no fucking, these people that, oh my God, they're swearing so much, right? But it's also about sharing experience, sharing stories, learning about the whole presence about this podcast. We just talked about it offline. Is if we want to know, it's not about plugging our business or the hot sauces, which we fucking love, but it's about getting to know you, getting to know our guests, getting, like, people that come on our show. We are so intrigued with their business, and we want to know about you, sharing stories about you and how your business developed. You're a busy cat. You got so many things on the go. It's crazy,
It keeps me sane and keeps me doing stuff, especially in our current situation. You gotta do stuff.
I know you gotta keep yourself busy, and you gotta just keep moving forward. Especially, we'll talk about all that pandemic bullshit, but
yeah,
like in our chat room, we have a great chat room for people who want to ask questions, and we're gonna give away a prize tonight. And I forgot to mention to you, because you're gonna pick the prize. You're gonna pick the winner. Yes. So there is something that you have to do for us.
Oh man, now I'm nervous.
If you could, on Instagram, on our Forefathers page, Instagram, on the free giveaway post, it actually, it blew up today. Like, people were posting and tagging and so forth. So I'd like you to,
nice.
I want you to pick a winner, pick a name off of there.
Okay.
While we're talking, maybe just load up on your screen or your phone and just pick a name, and we're going to give away the special prize that you're going to talk about. We'll talk about later on. So
yeah.
A great gift to give away. And I love it. I love that gift you have,
Isn't it awesome?
I love it. And you know what? And listen, we'll talk about it. We're going to give away we're going to give away a cool candle. Now, what's cool about this candle is that, like, for me, I love bacon. I love the smell of bacon. I love everything about bacon.
Yeah.
You are a cook, so the smell of it. This candle is bacon scented. Am I correct? Bacon scented candle.
It's mapled bacon. So it's the sweet smell of maple with a little hint of that like breakfast bacon on the frying pan smell. It makes me so hungry.
We should have had it going right now. We should have it going. We'd be like eating something right now.
I have one right here.
Oh my God.
If smell-o-vision will, exist one day, we would be able to send the smell out.
Can you put it up on your screen? I want to smell it. Just wait.
Hold on, let me open it.
Okay. Oh my God, maple. Great. I love it.
You can't go wrong with maple or bacon. So
you can't go wrong with either one,
right?
And we have actually our sauces that we're going to come out with is going to be included.
Just giving away everything.
Well, I don't know. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. It's great. Like, the podcast is such an awesome way to
We just got to rein Dave in every once in a while.
You got the banter can come across. Well, you don't give a shit about the banter.
No,
we're like this every day. So, listen, back to you. Let's talk about you, Sylvia.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Yes, talk about you. Your favorite.
Finally.
So, if anybody wants to ask some questions on, well, whatever. I mean, they can ask questions on Live TV Network. They can ask questions on Twitch and Facebook, and hopefully, we get to see it. I'm bouncing back and forth between and seeing it. I also see on our Live TV, Jackman Jones. Jackman Jones is in the house in the chat room today. He's awesome guy. He just celebrated his birthday too, 50th birthday. I mean, we're all at that milestone, but and
oh no, not me. No.
No, you're still in your 30s, aren't you? 30s?
Sure. Yes, I'm in my 30s.
So I welcome Jackman Jones to the channel here. Listen, I wanted to just know about you. Talk about you. I want to just know all about you. So basically, you're a food photographer.
Mm-hmm.
You're a blogger. Somewhat.
What else do you know about me so far?
and you're a chef. Okay?
Well, I'm a home cook. I'm not a trained chef, but
it doesn't matter. I get it. I mean,
yeah, but I'm a good cook.
Judging by the videos and the pictures you have on your Instagram and your YouTube channel, which we'll get to that, I think you're doing quite well with your creations, And same with Nelson. Nelson is a home chef. He's a fantastic chef. I'm not trying to pull his chain or anything like that, but he is a fantastic chef. So I can relate to what you're saying. So anyways, keep going. Let's say, so you're a food photographer, you're a blogger, and you're a chef, and you have your own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Called The Silly Kitchen.
I do. So yeah, like The Silly Kitchen's actually really new. That's probably my newest project that's kind of come through. It started just over a year and maybe 4 or 5 months ago.
Okay.
And it really just stemmed from my passion of cooking and food photography, because I love food photography. I think that when I'm scrolling through Instagram or I'm looking up a restaurant, if I see a picture of something delicious and it's an awesome photo and my stomach gurgles because I'm hungry looking at this photo, then whoever took that picture did their job. And I just believe in what food photography does for the industry. So it's been a really cool journey in my photography business, but more interesting, I think, is my food story, because I didn't actually start cooking things from scratch till my late 20s.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah.
What got you into cooking eventually? Right from the food photography side?
I think it was more a personal journey first, because I had some weight issues that I wanted to deal with. And at that point in my life, I thought that like opening up a box of frozen things and putting it in the oven was cooking. So I ended up actually going on a diet, whatever you want to call it. And it really forced me to understand food a lot more and buy fresh ingredients and cook things from scratch and understand flavors and stop putting junk in my body.
Right.
And I think that's really where like cooking really started for me. I started to learn. I watched a lot of the Food Network. I watched a lot of tutorials. I read cookbooks. I tried recipes and I screwed them up royally a few times before I really got the hang of it.
Right. It's going to happen, right? You're going to.
Well, even now, I still try stuff now and I screw up, but like you have to take that risk to try something different and get out of your comfort zone to get better at it. For
sure. I mean, that's what you said perfectly, is get out of your comfort zone. Like do something different out of your comfort zone. And if it fucks up and it doesn't taste that well, try it again, man. You've been there.
Yeah. But if the fact that you're cooking, like, especially if you're cooking for somebody else or for whatever, there's something really great about it, right? And people are always appreciative of it, even if you fuck it up a little bit. Like,
it's so funny because I remember just my mom growing up and how she always wanted to make sure whatever she was serving, people were happy with and people were good with, and like she'd always just want to put more on your plate. Right. And I can totally relate to that now that I like to feed people because I'm like, do you like it? Is it good? Do you want more? Do you want leftovers? I'm like, oh my God, I'm my mother.
You wait for that moment where it's just like, do they like it? And
I always love to try to cook, and I mean, I'm not a huge. I don't cook a lot. My wife, she's an awesome cook, so I try to help out around the kitchen as much as I can. But I admire the creation of cooking and thinking of ideas that you're doing and applying it. And you just, and we're going to talk about this, about how the sauces and our sauces to your cooking, and we'll go to that video that you posted was really, it was priceless. I loved it. We'll talk about that because I had a good kick out of it. Let's talk about you, a bit about yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you asked me off before this started where I was from. So I think that might be a good starting point because I was not born in Canada.
Okay.
I'm an immigrant.
Hold on. We're going to guess.
You're going to guess.
We're going to guess. I'm going to say, you are Greek.
Nope.
Okay.
Can we narrow it down? Are you Eastern European?
I am Eastern. Yes, I'm Eastern European.
Hungarian?
Nope.
Okay. So
do you guys know where the pierogi originated?
Bulgaria?
Poland. I am Polish.
I'm gonna throw like a glass at me. It's like Poland.
Poland.
That's the vodka.
See, you should have known. You should have known from the fact that vodka was my drink.
Yeah. Well, vodka. You could have been Russian.
So, did your family immigrate to KW, or did you immigrate like to Toronto?
So, I was born in the early '80s, and Poland was a communist country at the time. Yep. So, my parents took off in the middle of the night, and on a really cold winter's night, right after Christmas, and we packed up everything we could. Didn't tell anybody we were leaving, and we ended up taking refuge in Germany.
Really?
So that was our first spot, and it was never supposed to be a place that my parents tell me it wasn't like the end of their journey. It was just where we could get to quickly and safely at that point.
How old were you?
So I was 4. I was really young. I have little tiny memories of some of the refugee camps that we stayed in. I have little memories of making friends or building a snowman and then moving and being on a bus. So like little things. I know it's very young to remember, but pieces of things kind of stay.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then we finally kind of settled in a city in Germany, and my dad started to work, and we kind of tried to figure out paperwork on where our next place was going to be. And we tried a few places. Like I think we had family in Australia, we had family in Boston, but that didn't work out. And we had a connection in Chatham, Ontario.
Okay.
So we ended up coming to Chatham a couple years later, and then to Kitchener after that.
Cool.
Yeah. So I've been here most of my life.
Yeah. Right.
It's pretty much home now.
So like 6, 7, you were in Chatham.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And there's not much to do in Chatham, so that's why we didn't really stay there long.
Buggies, no horse and buggies there, was there?
I mean, we lived in an apartment. My dad actually got a job doing like Chinese delivery.
Like Chinese food delivery, really?
Yeah, so it was kind of interesting coming from a communist country where I pretty much grew up eating potatoes and, maybe some baked goods if we could get our hands on it, to now coming to Canada and trying foods I've never heard of or seen or
you would never even think of having here, No,
like we had no access to any of that, right? So it was my food journey's been very, very interesting when it comes to kind of where I started and where I am now.
Yeah. And what was it like? Like, how did your parents cook?
My mom was always cooking, like a lot of traditional European food, right? So pierogies are still one of my favorite things to have. They are potatoes, cheese, and dough. I mean, like how much simpler can you get? But it's so good.
No,
and bacon on it eventually.
A lot of bacon.
Well, yeah. Back then we couldn't really get much bacon, but now, heck yeah, load that stuff up. Bacon. And then like cabbage rolls or schnitzel, we call it cutlet, but same thing, like breaded pork.
Yeah.
A lot of like potato and beige. I call it beige. A lot of beige.
That's your favorite color, beige.
Did your mom branch out? Like eventually with
she enjoys eating other food now, but at this point retired, she just doesn't even want to cook anymore. She's like, I don't want to cook.
Wow, she's done her share.
You would have, like as a kid, my parents immigrated over. They met here in Toronto, but my grandmother lived with us, and she did a lot of the cooking because my mom worked, and we would eat Canadian on Friday nights.
Yeah.
Her version of like what she thought Canadian people would eat.
As a treat. As a
Friday treat. Be like, she's like, I made mac and cheese and like wieners and beans or like pizza, like KFC.
Yeah.
Otherwise it was all like very, Western European.
Sure.
Yeah. Once in a while, like once we were settled enough to be able to spend money, like once we were kind of doing okay, we would definitely have like Sunday treats. So we would go to like after church on a Sunday, we would go to like the buffet. And we could just have a smorgasbord of whatever we wanted. Or I remember them getting KFC a couple times.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't into the KFC.
No, it was.
And the neon cold. I really like the neon cold.
I wanted to eat just the coleslaw and the skin and the breaded skin off the chicken, and I was done.
Right. I think it was something that we all did. I mean, I loved their potato salad. Their potato salad was by far the best for me, and the skin off the chicken.
Yeah.
Whatever that was underneath the skin, I don't know, but. Ours was like a treat. Was like Swiss chalet. That was a treat. Like we're gonna go to Swiss chalet, and it's like, oh my god.
That was our first family dinner out with Swiss chalet.
Was it?
Yeah,
I thought it was great. And today
watching, like my grandmother, she thought it was tea, like the bowl.
Oh my god, the lemon bowl.
And at first, like we're in there, and like we were taught like not to eat with your hands and everything, and lick your fingers. And I'm looking around, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like everyone's doing it. And then my grandmother goes to like drink the hand wash bowl. I'm like, Bava, no,
don't.
It's to wash your hands. She's like, oh,
sorry. No, just pour it all over me. It's okay.
I worked at Swiss Chalet as one of my first jobs as a teenager, and I've seen people do everything with that lemon bowl.
Oh my god, I'm pretty sure you have seen it all.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd like to talk about the photography business now. Okay. Food, because if we talk about food, I'm just going to be hungry, and I'm just going to have to leave and get something to eat. But we'll drink some more wine.
Yeah, there you go.
What are you drinking? We'll talk about it afterwards. What we're drinking.
Yeah, like being Polish. Vodka is, I think, just in my blood. And yeah, I'm having vodka soda with like a little bit of cranberry juice just to make it pink so it looks pretty.
Awesome.
But yeah, vodka soda is just a really nice, refreshing drink. I love red wine too. I mean, really, I think the only alcohol I will never have again is peach schnapps.
Because you're not 15 years old.
Yeah, and I had a bad experience when I was 15. So
it's like
so
peach schnapps and orange
that's
juice.
the only thing I will never have again. But I feel like certain drinks pair with certain occasions.
Yeah.
Right. So like I love a glass of red wine with dinner, or I love having, a cocktail in the summer, or a cold beer in the summer. Right. It's awesome too. I don't drink beer a lot in the winter, but in the summer I love it.
Well, I love how you free pour your vodka. So I like it.
Well, if you've watched my YouTube channel, you know I don't like measuring anything. So why would I measure vodka?
That's the best part of cooking. I don't want to measure anything. Like, baking sucks.
It gives me anxiety.
Yeah, like I hate everything about it. Like it's like a little bit of olive oil for cooking. Is like that seems like the right amount. You just kind of go for it.
Go for it.
Now, do you have a specific vodka you go to?
Well, I like potato vodka.
Okay.
A lot of vodkas are made from rye or grain, but I like the potato ones the best. And Luksusowa is a Polish vodka that is potato based. So that's like my go-to. But I love tequila too. I should mention that.
And like to sip tequila, or are you like snapping it back?
Yeah.
Can we do a shot tonight?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I have a bottle of tequila.
Okay, I should get some.
I like good quality. Like, I think a lot of times when I say I like tequila, people go, oh, but it's like, okay, well, if you've only had bottom shelf tequila, I would say the same thing. But a good sipping tequila, a good shooter, or a good, like even my mixing tequila, I just make margaritas out of it, or do like a tequila sangria, and it's still great tequila.
Right. And you also do not just like, you also mix drinks. You make your own drinks and not just food. Like you get more into the alcohol and which is great. I love it because I was watching you make the sangria and
was it the summer sangria or the silly?
The silly sangria you were making.
It's very silly.
I love sangria.
The one thing about sangria that I love is that you just need two.
No, you don't. Come on.
It hits you so hard and you don't even know it.
Well, maybe that's you.
Yeah, well, I'll make you my silly sangria and you let me know.
Okay, what's in the silly sangria?
If I remember that recipe correctly, it's tequila, red wine, one other alcohol, some fruit, some kind of juice. I'm really good at recipes. I'd have to go back and look at the recipe, but it's 3 types of alcohol and it's tequila.
Right. Actually, you know what? I think you're absolutely right about that. And I because the silly sangria to me, it caught my eye of what you're doing, what you're making, and I'm going to so to your point about the drinks and the foods and mixing and not using any sort of ingredients like measuring and that sort of stuff. I like that. Now on the photography side of things, is that your main business? Is that your? Yeah.
So 100% my income comes from being a full-time photographer, and I've been doing it for 15, 16 years now. Yeah. And like, this was not going to be my career. This was not the game plan. Mm-hmm. I picked it up in my 20s as a hobby. I had a friend that was into photography, and I had always been really artistic. Like I shouldn't say I was always artistic. I always wanted to be artistic, but I kind of sucked at most things. Yeah. I went to a arts high school to do like drama and music and that kind of stuff. And like, I was just kind of floating through. I was mediocre at most of it. And that's all right. But I was always kind of grasping to something. So finally in my 20s, I picked up a camera and it literally clicked.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. I just wanted to go out and take pictures after that day. And I started to practice and learn. And like I said, there wasn't YouTube tutorials or anything that I could learn off of. So I did like a college night class for photography and for Photoshop editing. Yeah. And I pretty much just took pictures of everything and anything and tried to learn the craft. And the business evolved over the years. So, like I said, I did everything and anything to start. So family portraits, maternity photos, weddings.
Whoa. Weddings?
Weddings. Yes. I used to photograph weddings. I don't anymore.
Forget the
Weddings.
COVID side. Forget the COVID
Well,
side. Weddings were a different experience back then. Or not back then. It's just a different experience being in the photography business and the music business. I'm sure you had your fair share of interesting things happening at weddings.
Well, I have some good stories. Yeah, I like majority of the time things were pretty good. I had some really awesome clients. Like I even got flown down south multiple times for destination weddings. So
wow, that's pretty sweet.
Like that's awesome, getting a vacation and work.
Would you be there? Like, you're there for a week and shoot for like a day?
Sometimes, like it depends. Sometimes you just go down for 3 or 4 days to get like, beach pictures for like before and then the actual wedding day. Or if someone wanted to do trash the dress, that was like popular then.
Oh yeah. Like they jump in the ocean, right?
Yeah, they just ruin their dress and get all gross after, and it's just liberating and fun. It was awesome. Like those moments were great. Like those were so much fun. But yeah, then you're also booking your life a year and a half in advance for these people. So hopefully you don't get hit by a bus so you can attend their wedding and photograph it for them.
Of course.
Yeah, and then I had some clients that weren't the greatest, and it just like I just knew that I wasn't passionate about that type of photography.
Sure.
So like slowly but surely I stopped doing weddings. I started to get much more into commercial photography, and that's where like things just I was like, this is it. This is what I want to do. These are the jobs that make me excited and happy, and I get some creativity, control, and like it's definitely I am right now in my business where I want to be.
Excellent.
How did you land your first official commercial gig?
I think it just slowly kind of starts, right? Like when I went full time with my business, because I did have real jobs before photography. So I took the leap one day and just said, you know what? No more 9 to 5. Like I got to do this 100% or not. Yeah, right. And I started joining networking groups. I started to, really get my feet in kind of the business to business environment here in Kitchener, which is like really awesome. There's some really amazing people in this community, especially in the food community.
Right.
You start connecting with marketers and people who do design and graphics and that, and they always need a photographer. So you just slowly kind of get little jobs here and there, build your portfolio, start talking about it a lot more, and then referrals.
Yeah. Referrals. Exactly. Reputation, referrals, that all makes a big difference in building your brand and your business.
Huge.
Yeah. Huge. And word of mouth. I mean, listen, it can, you can go, it just takes that one person to give you bad reputation, and then you're all over the internet. But like, when you do something great, people share it.
Yeah. Or the flip side, right? Like,
right.
If you don't, great, and all of a sudden that just kind of helps you blow up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Our Instagram is blowing up on the free giveaway alert. So you're going to have to do some work tonight and dinner tonight. So guys, we're giving away it's Sylvia's brand of this beautiful candle. And this candle is
where's the label?
Okay, there we go. The Silly Candle. Is that what it is? The Silly Candle?
Well, it's the Silly Kitchen Maple Bacon.
Whoa. So the maple bacon scented candle. Without the mess of splattering all over your fucking face. You can have the smell of bacon in your kitchen. It's
like Sunday brunch.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But you're still kind of hungry after.
For sure. I want to say hi to Shelly. Shelly's she mentioned she's on the channel. She said hello to everybody on the
Hi, Shelly.
Facebook. Yeah, she is from the London area, so she's had our sauces and
nice.
Yeah, and great supporter.
Hello, Shelly.
And thank you, Shelly. And so to go to the photography part of your business, which was great, you traveling, taking pictures. People do commission you to do portraits or like.
Yeah, so it's everybody kind of. I mean, I have some base rates that
Right.
I offer, like the typical business headshots or stuff like that. I have a studio in Kitchener as well.
Yeah.
So there's some base rates, but a lot of it's custom, right? So someone will come to me and say, I have 4 different sauces that I need photographed, and I want some recipes to go with it, like some piri piri sauce or.
Yeah, I saw that. Mm-hmm.
Plug. But yeah, no, but that, I've had people come to me. I have one product and I want to photograph it in a couple different ways and show people how to use it, or I have 4 products, or so I have to kind of build packages based on my customers' needs for the most part. In commercial, there isn't really a set rate that I offer for one thing because everybody's so different, right? Everybody's got different needs, and some people want enough photography for just their website and a few social posts. Some people want 3 to 6 months worth of social media content, and that's a lot of what I'm doing, because if you're not on Instagram, if you're not on social media platforms for especially your food business, like you've got to get on there. And it breaks my heart when I see, a restaurant that has great food and great service, but then they post a picture that's like really sad and doesn't do anything for my appetite. And I'm like, I want to help you.
I know. You want to. It is. I don't know. It's hard to say, but I like the photography side of things. I can appreciate people really creating the I think, for instance, if you take a picture of something, it's also going to tell a story. It's going to share a lot of like from colors to expressions to whatever it's going to be, shares a story to it. So I really commend on your business, and I wish you all the best in your business of photography.
Thank you. And one thing I can say to kind of expand a little on that, just because branding photo shoots is what they're called now, are becoming a lot more popular. And I'm finding myself getting a lot more into that too, is if I am taking pictures of a food product or a chef, we're telling a story not just about the product, but we're talking about who the person is behind the product. So we're doing portraits, we're doing food photos, we're doing recipes, and we're building a brand. We're not just taking a picture of a single item. It's so much more than that, because the way we advertise and talk to our customers now is online.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
More than ever. So we need to show all those parts.
Kind of the whole story.
Yeah.
Sure. Now, how did you go from when you started in commercial, doing different gigs? How did you focus in on food?
I think the Silly Kitchen, really, like I said, that's only just over a year old. So when I started doing that for myself, and I started that new brand and that new entity, the partnerships that came from that, people wanting me to feature their product on the show or doing some influencer type programs, that really, I think, took my brand to another level, and I was able to kind of cross both businesses over.
Right.
So yeah, like I work with restaurants, I work with chefs, I work with cooking schools. It's I love what I do. I really love what I do.
You can feel a passion in it. I can feel and smell the vodka of your passion of your.
Okay. Well, do you know one of the best parts about food photography?
What's that?
I usually get to eat a lot of what is being photographed.
That
part's got to be the best.
Well, I know, but back in the day, and maybe it still happens now on higher end, I don't know, where like they would actually take like fake food and paint it. And well, I'm very real. I'm very like into real food and real recipes and showing what it actually looks like when you get it as a customer. Right. So yeah, I get to eat a lot.
You don't have the blowtorch in your back pocket to.
That was disheartening. I remember being I was in a studio kind of 4 years ago, like with my work, and we were doing some videos, and the place that we were shooting in did a lot of food photography. And I was talking to one of the guys, and he's like, "Oh yeah, like this is what I use to make the burger look like it comes right off the grill." And it was so like all the romance of food was like,
yeah, that makes me sad.
Yeah, I know. But it's great that you're doing kind of like more natural, especially like shooting the chef and them cooking and
right.
Like we work with a chef, and like watching him cook. Like I think I can cook until I watch Dino cook.
Right. Yeah.
Being in the presence of a chef is one of my favorite things. Like just watching the way they handle food, the way they taste things and analyze things. Yeah. It gets me so excited.
Yeah. And then, especially if they're like, oh my God, you start eating their food and they're excited. That's like we've done a few different shoots with Dino. And that's the best part about it.
It's the best.
we were going to do a food truck takeover last weekend at the Cheese Boutique that we put on because of everything going on. We thought it was the right thing to do. COVID. But we shot it at my house, and my son, who's learning learning photography, he's into photography, and we're trying to get him to help because he's like, "Daddy, your photos suck."
Yay! I like him already.
He's so like, it's funny. Like I've coached him in sports forever. So, I guess he feels like now it's time for him to coach me. He's like, your photos suck. I'm like, you know what? As opposed to just cutting me off, because I'm very sensitive. Why don't you help? So Dino came over and he cooked like all day. And like I was going to help him. I'm like, I got out of his way.
That's what you got to do.
And
you have to do that.
Awesome to watch him just like make 4 dishes like that. And like pretty significant dishes, and all of a sudden we're eating like this chicken and waffle sandwich.
Oh God!
Like maple habaneros. Oh my God! It was bananas.
You do have to come down in June 12th and 13th. You have to come down to Cheese Boutique for our next food truck takeover. That's our postponed date. So
it's in my calendar, and like you're speaking my language with cheese. Like cheese is my favorite food in the whole world.
I love cheese. I
love cheese.
I want to say hello to Liz Santos. She's from Connecticut. She's a cousin in the U.S. and she's a big supporter of me and wine. She loves a wine. And hello, Liz. Thanks for tuning in tonight. But yeah, you definitely have to come down to the Cheese Boutique truck, food truck takeover, the Cheese Boutique.
That's a mouthful.
I got some more wine. Yeah. I think I just want to find out, what is the craziest thing that you've ever taken a picture of?
I don't know if there's anything crazy. There's been like challenging product shoots I've had. I took pictures for a client, a couple of years back now, of insoles for shoes.
What the fuck? What? I was hoping to see like some fucking like 700-pound guy who wanted to pose nude.
Actually, wait. Here we go. So there is one funny one. A guy that I knew through business networking wanted to give his wife like a Valentine's Day or birthday gift.
Oh boy.
And he did the Costanza on a couch that I have in my studio. That was the funniest thing I might have shot.
Yeah, the fucking insoles, no.
Did he do it sober?
I'm not sure. I think so.
I just can't imagine like wrapping my head around doing the Costanza sober.
Yeah, no. I don't think I could. I got to be drunk for that. There's no way to do it. No way.
I would love to see like, you do that, and Michelle opens like her card is like,
she's gonna close it up, and she's like, you know what? Probably the best that we just go to bed.
So yeah, there's been some silliness, of course.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's silly. That's all part of this silly kitchen. This, silly Sylvia that you're branding yourself. I love it. I love how you're branding yourself. You're such a upbeat, positive, and vibrant. It's great. It's refreshing refreshing to speak with you and talk with you about what you do, and we love it.
Isn't there enough stress and enough hard times that it's okay to focus on the good stuff. It's okay to have moments of happiness and really kind of lead with that. I try not to take things too seriously. So that's me.
Where did the Silly Kitchen name come from?
I mean, I had a few people help me with it. I kind of was throwing around the idea that, like, people had asked me if I was going to do a cookbook and stuff, and I'm like, no, have you seen me cook? I don't measure. I can't write that down. Like, I need an outlet, and I think I need a show for it. So why not? Like, YouTube is such a great platform for that. And I was like, what can I say with Sylvia? Like, what rhymes with my name, or what kind of expression makes sense for who I am? And we threw a few words around, and a few friends helped me with it, and then the Silly Kitchen was born.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's about branding, and I think you're doing really well on it. So I love it. And
what rhymes with Sylvia?
Sylvia
not
Poland.
much.
Like, not much.
Poland. No.
Not much.
Rhymes with no.
Not much.
Like, as a kid, people tried to burn
You know what rhymes
like,
with Sylvia? Vodka.
I'll drink to that.
Yeah, like Nelson. What rhymes with Nelson? Belson.
I would get called Nelson Pelson.
Nelson
Pelson. Lemons, because they would do it it would bug the shit out of me. Like lemons, because my last name is Lemos.
Lemons.
I would get like, it would be like, I'd be so upset by it. I'm like,
it's okay. My last name is Tomasetti, and it has the word ass in it. Tom Ass Setti.
Oh my god.
Tom Ass.
And we just call you Angry Dave, right?
Angry Dave. Fuck you, dog.
Now you've just given me new material.
Hey, I'm giving ton of spaghetti. These call me Dave. Ton of spaghetti.
Seriously?
Oh yeah. Fuck. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Ass.
Tom Ass Setti. Fuck off, lemons. Anyways. It's the banter we go back and forth with. It's kind of funny, but
it's
anyway,
beautiful. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna kick him out of my office in my studio. So anyway,
but who's gonna pour you wine if you kick him out? Keep him around.
He's
keep the pork chop around.
He's a good cat, man. I'll keep him for a while. You're in your Instagram post. I was creeping you in a good way, and
or you can call it research.
I was doing some research, and
that sounds way better. I was creeping you. It was 4 a.m. I couldn't sleep.
I couldn't sleep. It was like 3 a.m. I woke up and I'm like, yeah, I can see who Sylvia Pond is. No, I'm just kidding. So I saw you had a picture of you in a guitar with a guitar. And so you like music? You're into music?
I love music. Oh. I suck at it, but I love it.
You had me at love music, so I love it.
Yeah, I mean, again, right? I went to an art school, so singing in choirs, singing in musicals, like I started playing violin when I was in grade 6.
Wow.
Violin is a really great instrument if you're good at it, but it sounds like nails on a chalkboard if you suck at it.
Yeah.
So like music's been in my life for a really long time, but I never felt really great at it until I kind of started learning guitar.
Okay.
Right.
And like literally in 3 months I was playing open mic nights, because all you really need to know is like 4 chords and you can play so many songs.
You're no kidding.
But then I plateaued. Like right. I can play, 5 or 6 different chords. I can get in and out of songs. I make up my own rhythm, so I can't play with anybody else, because like I'll skip beats and stuff and just be like, yeah, that's what I meant to do.
What is she doing? What is she doing?
Yeah. So like
if you have a bunch of vodka and somebody hands you a guitar and they're like, Sylvia, let her rep. Like, what's your first one?
Right. What's your
maybe some CCR if I want something upbeat. Oh. But I like to play like a lot of sad songs.
Oh boy.
Only because they're easy to play.
Well, they're like a really low BPM and just like a nice soft
like what?
Know. Yeah, what kind of song?
Oh God. Now you guys are putting me on the spot.
guitar?
Yeah, get
I
the
don't
guitar.
know, just like sad old songs from the 70s. I don't know.
No, don't.
I'm just trying to think of who that would be.
No,
there's a lot of stuff.
I don't like sad songs. Sad, you know what?
Yeah, it's just because they're slower, so I can get in and out of the music easier. But I started taking singing lessons again a couple months ago, so I'm kind of trying to revive a little bit of music in my life. But it's just for fun. It's just something I really like. I love, and I wish I was better at. And I mean, when concerts were a thing, I was at my local concert venue probably once or twice a month.
Okay.
I love live music, and
I love it.
Do you remember your last show?
What's that?
You remember the last show you saw?
Yeah, it was actually a little tiny band from Detroit called Bars of Gold.
Okay.
And I went to this little dive bar in Toronto somewhere. My girlfriend lives in Toronto, and it was their last show before the lockdown too. Sure. And I have never rocked out like that in a small crowd before in my life.
Which bar?
These guys, I honestly don't know.
A lot of vodka.
Yeah, exactly.
just a few. I remember having pizza afterwards, and it was really good. But I love live music. I love people who are talented at music. I get so envious. I'm like, I wish I could play like that.
I just think like the ability to get up on stage and just not care and be so confident to let it rip. Like to me, that's terrifying.
Yeah, it is terrifying. I've done it. It's terrifying. Yeah. But there's something pretty cool and liberating about getting up there and doing it and nailing it and walking off stage and going, yes.
Oh,
drop the mic and walk off.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, what now you talked about sad songs and classic rock and this and that. What kind of genre music do you listen to?
I'm one of those people that kind of have a love for and appreciation for a lot of different kind of music. I think if I'm at home and I just want to listen to stuff, I love a lot of Canadian rock. I love the Tragically Hip. I love Sloan. That kind of music is definitely what I gravitate to. I'm trying to explore a lot more and just be open to listening to new music. I discovered, I think, that type of passion for music later in life. Right. So I never saw the Tragically Hip in concert, and I wish I would have, but
they were incredible.
I just think Gord Downey's a brilliant poet too.
Yeah. We were lucky to get the chance to. I've seen him a bunch of times.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I miss that whole friggin' vibe. Like being at a concert. For me, that's I love live sports and live concerts.
Right.
Yeah.
And seeing a band, especially a band where they're playing like it's their last show ever.
Right.
And they give a shit and they're letting it rip. And
I find the smaller concert venues, the more intimate ones are definitely ones that I gravitate to, but I did end up rail riding at the Foo Fighters concert at the Rogers Center a couple years ago.
Rail riding?
What's rail riding?
Front row.
Okay. So perverts row.
Where you're holding the rail.
Yeah, okay. Well, okay, that's all.
Sorry, I forgot you guys are a little older.
People, yeah.
Did you roll with your press pass or something like that?
No, I just you're not allowed to run to the front when you have floor seats, but those people that walk really fast. That's what I did.
And you got the elbows going.
And I didn't go to the bathroom once. I just stood there for the entire time. There were 2 opening bands. Yeah. And then the Foo Fighters came on, and I think they played almost 3 hours.
Okay.
How were they?
And I was just my jaw was on the floor, and I was like, Dave Grohl, I love you.
He's pretty awesome.
He's just super cool.
Yeah. Have you seen him going back and forth now with the girl from England? I think her name is Mandy Bushell, who plays.
I saw something.
She's incredible. This young girl who plays the drums, and she challenged Dave Grohl to a drum off. She's I think literally 10 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
You watch her play the drums, and she's playing it's all pretty hard rock. and it's awesome to watch. And then he like literally accepted her challenge.
That's right. I did watch that.
He went back and he's like, "You did a great song. Here's a song when I was with them Crooked Vultures," and he plays a song. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like he's this, middle of COVID as well, probably helped out a little bit from a scheduling perspective. But the fact that he had this interaction with like a teenager.
Well, I feel like almost every concert that I've heard about with the Foo Fighters, he'll bring someone on stage or he'll let someone rip on the guitar. It's just, and it's a lot of kids, and it's so cool to see these talented kids get inspired and have that moment. Like I didn't really go to any rock concerts until my 20s.
Were you going like the Polish concert?
Yeah, that's my dad right there. I see him.
Is that your dad? Is that your dad?
Yeah, look at that.
They're in a Polish club. Wow.
Yeah, so because I was like an artsy kid,
right.
There were opportunities, let's call them, or my dad pushing me onto the stage. I love you, Dad. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
You know what I like about it? The fact is that your dad is on Facebook.
Oh yeah, he's on Facebook a lot.
Holy shit, man. Hello, Dad. How are you, buddy?
He's like my number one fan in everything I do. Him and my mom watch all my YouTube videos. They support everything I do. I have the utmost respect and just gratitude for the life I have because of my mom and dad.
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think that like them leaving Poland and that journey, like you hear like any immigrant story and all of them are a little different, but to me, I just can't even wrap my head around it. Like thinking about like, dropping everything you're doing right now, leaving, like it's.
Well, they left all their family, it was just them and us kids in a car with whatever we could carry. And like, I can't imagine doing that right now. Like I don't understand. I don't know how emotionally, physically, how they did it. And then like, they didn't have cell phones. They didn't have, internet or anything to figure out where they were going or how they were going to.
But they did. They figured it out.
I know.
I'm gonna do this for my family.
Right.
Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, a brother and a sister, and I'm the baby, so they experienced it a bit harder than I did.
Their memories were different, but it's like we're gonna do this because it's right to raise our family in a different spot and give them a better life. And this is bananas. We're gonna fucking figure it out.
To leave a country, pack up and leave. That is bonkers.
Yeah, like my dad left Tetseda, which is a little tiny island in the Azores, at 15, and him and my uncle Joe went to Brazil.
Right,
and like Logan's going to be 18. He's 18 now, and he's going to go to school next year. He's going away, and we're like, oh my god, it's going to be a big adjustment for us as parents, for him. But like the fact that my dad left an island with like there's more cows on his island than there are people. His first day in Rio, he went to Maracanã Stadium, which I think at the time held 100,000 people.
Right.
Can you imagine that he was on an island of like 35,000, and he's at a fucking soccer game with 100,000 people. At 15.
At 15.
Like
you're not even watching the game. You're watching people around you.
But it's not like we're going to Brazil for vacation. It's like I'm going there to work to support.
Right.
Like anyways, the whole thing's crazy. Then eventually they came here, but other immigrant stories, I find it fascinating, and I think
it's certainly given me a lot of perspective, and I think a lot of respect for how multicultural this country is, and kind of relating back to my food journey, right? I appreciate real food so much, and I appreciate how accessible it is, and I don't take that for granted. I try not to waste, and I try to use everything that I have. And, I feel bad when, something spoils or something has to get thrown out, but it's something that's always present in my mind because, there was a time where my family didn't know where they were going to get their next meal. Right. And like I have to be mindful of that. I have to keep that in my core,
Right. It's awesome, and I commend your family for doing that, because that's a big jump to pack up and just leave.
Yeah, and then you have to learn new languages, new cultures, get a job, like figure shit out, like
I know,
from scratch.
KW?
What's that?
Is there a big Polish community in Kitchener?
Yeah, actually there is. Like my dad mentioned, singing at a Polish club, and there's little there's Portuguese clubs, like there's like we have little places that people hang out, eat kielbasa, drink vodka.
Kielbasa? What did you say? Kielbasa? Kielbasa. That's the proper way, I guess.
I never sang in any of the Portuguese clubs. I never sang in an Italian club. No, I did dance to the bird song with my aunt. Yeah, we used to go to these Portuguese clubs all the time. I freaking hated it. I would go to the bar, and I was like a young teenager. Go to the bar, I would just like watch hockey.
Yeah.
For some reason, I loved the chicken dance. I'd be like, Tia, let's go dance.
Oh no!
And my parents would be like, go dance with us. Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want to dance. And then
I love that you offer up that information like it's no big deal.
Chicken dance was like, I fucking rocked it. Like, right?
You like put your head in her.
No, there's none of that. Like, it wasn't awkward. It was just like, for some reason, it was like, I'm gonna own the chicken dance.
You're gonna own the chicken.
At 14.
What is
14.
Is it?
Fuck. We have a big German community in Kitchener-Waterloo too, so like that chicken dance comes out at Oktoberfest like 600 times.
For sure.
I had a bad experience at KW Oktoberfest, but that's another.
That's another story.
Was it the schnapps?
Yeah, no, it was not schnapps. It was. I thought everybody was going to be like so friendly, and like the cops certainly didn't appreciate drinking in the parking lot.
No.
So I would say that started the night wrong.
Right.
And then like this is back. I was single at the time, and I remember I was trying to be funny and talking to this girl, and I grabbed her little hat.
Oh no.
I took her hat, put it on my head, and she punched me in the stomach. Like I was expecting it to be just like
kicking the nuts,
like lederhosen and just like ample beer everywhere. And it was
wearing lederhosen.
No. But I had this vision of it being so much fun and like just like jugs of beer, not being.
And it can be that much fun if you don't take people's hats and get punched.
No, right. It's like I got a ticket for drinking in public.
Kicking the balls.
I mean,
oh my goodness.
To London, I was fucking over.
What is your go-to food? What do you like to make?
Cheese.
Besides cheese, like for cooking wise,
honestly,
I love cheese. So yeah.
Well, I have a cheese tattoo.
Really?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I have a massive love for cheese. So, I mean, when it comes to cooking and eating, like I love experimenting. I love trying different foods. I haven't met a vegetable I don't like. I think like I've been called the salad queen on Instagram before, just because salads do not have to be boring. They can be so amazing, and they can have just as much calories as a burger. So,
really?
I think
the dressings, the dressings.
I think I'm really like, if there's something I won't screw up, is a soup.
Okay.
Yeah, soups and stews. I think like I got it. Whatever you want to give me for ingredients, I can make a soup out of it.
Soups are great.
Yeah,
I love a good soup.
Flavor like
winter. It's my comfort food. I make batches of it, freeze it, and then I can have it anytime I want.
Anything like you hate eating?
Oh. No. I haven't tried everything yet. I don't think, but
tofu's my thing.
I hate fucking tofu.
The texture.
Okay, so
for me,
tofu's a little odd because it's spongy and has no flavor. But I used to buy this. So I was vegetarian for a couple of years.
Okay.
So I got into like a really nice, firm, extra smoky tofu.
Okay.
And then I would just cut it into chunks and soak it with a little bit of like olive oil and like some really awesome like heat flavors, like some chili powder or some red pepper flakes. And then it absorbs all of that beautiful flavor and you throw it in whatever you want.
Would you cook it or it would just be?
Yeah, like you throw it in stir fry, or you could throw it on a salad without cooking it. But I can't find that firm tofu anymore. it's all that spongy stuff, and it's not as good.
Yeah, like maybe I just haven't. I've never tried firm tofu. I think I had it once early, and I was just like, ugh. Right. It was spongy. I'm like, this is terrible. Nah. That and cilantro. I know people love cilantro.
There's a lot of people that on their palate, cilantro is like soap in their mouth.
Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't mind.
But I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
No, yeah, like I didn't realize it, and then like later on in life, we're at like a really nice restaurant.
Yeah.
A great Thai restaurant in Toronto, and you know, and I was so excited about this dinner, and then it was like, I put it in. We had like a soup, and it was like visceral. I was like, what is this freaking flavor? Like I had a cold spring roll, and it was the same thing. And I called the waiter over. I'm like either something's broken, or there's something in the food. And he's like, what's what are you sensing? And I said, I explained it to him. He's like, oh, it's cilantro.
Gotcha. Like, oh my God. Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind cilantro.
But do you like put
I love it.
Most people like that like it, or like they love it.
No.
It's like
I don't.
No, you never want to overpower. You need balance in a meal. But like cilantro on a fish taco.
Oh no.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh yeah. At the Drake, there's that they have a great fish taco, and there's a ton of cilantro on there.
And I'm always like, no cilantro, please.
You're not alone. I have several friends that can't do it.
Nelson lemons, and I don't really like
Nelson
cilantro.
Pelson lemons. Is it in food allergies, sir? No, I just fucking don't like it.
I just can't taste anything but gross when I eat it.
Oh yeah.
I'm not a big dessert person though. That's something about me. Like I much rather have a piece of bread with cheese on it than a piece of cake.
Is there any desserts that you like though?
Yeah, like I love a good, well, see, it's funny. I used to get stomach pains from eating ice cream when I was a kid, but now I can have like good, like Kawartha ice cream.
Okay.
I mean, they're Ontario made. It's real ice cream.
They make really good.
And there's like, I even tried some dairy-free ice cream because I thought maybe my tummy wasn't liking all that heavy cream or something. And there's some good, like, dairy-free ice creams that I like too.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't crave it. I literally would want salty and savory before anything else.
For sure.
I don't get the idea of like, I'm going to save room for dessert. Like that never, ever crosses
my mind. No, it doesn't. Either I'm going to have it or I don't have it. Like when I eat, and then I'll have dessert if it's there.
Yeah.
But I don't say to myself, I'm going to save room for dessert. How the fuck can you know how much room you have left in your stomach for fucking dessert?
There's always room for more something.
Oh my God. You know, and listen, I love eating. I love good food. I love Canadian food, European food. Doesn't matter what it is. I enjoy it. And it's funny. We have a good friend of ours who's part of our team, and Steve Wilkes. We call him the Silver Fox. And he is this like, you know, pure. When we say munja cake, you know what munja cake means, right? In European, it's like Canadian
in a loving way.
Okay, so it's a munja cake. Munja cake means you know, eat cake. It's just a term.
Have you heard that term?
No.
Really? So he's
like, I actually haven't.
Oh yeah, we heard it. We would say
we're like 70s kids, like 70s Western Europeans. So it'd be like you would have been called a wop as a kid.
Yeah, a wop.
I was a pork chop, and it'd be like whatever caker.
Yeah, whatever you munja cake, caker.
Never heard any of those.
Really?
Oh, you ever heard pork chop? Wow.
Well,
you heard a pork chop,
but
not wop.
Wop?
No.
What?
Seriously?
No.
That's probably a good thing.
Yeah, you are fucking young.
Thank you, because I feel old all the time now.
Well, Steve Wilkes is a great friend of ours, and he is the best. He's a super nice guy. Love him. We all love him. And he says, he goes, you know, I am so glad I met you guys. He says the food you guys fucking make and eat. I was stuck with roast beef and potatoes and gravy for fucking like 30 years. Like we didn't have anything different. I'm like, and he's like, I'm glad I met you guys. You know, the European foods, I love it. You know, he's
the best guy to have at a dinner party, because if you're feeling down at all, he's like, oh my God, I never had something this good before.
Oh my God. And
I love people like that. And I love people who just have appetite. Like I love hungry people.
You know what? We're gonna bring him because when he's like, if he loves it and he eats, he's like,
it's so
loud.
Yeah.
It's like he eats loud. Oh my god! Fuck! Jesus! Oh my god! Fucking loving it. Right?
I have a buddy like that, Frosty. My buddy Matt. We've traveled a ton together, and he's the loudest eater ever. Oh God! Oh my!
He's like having an orgasm in his mouth.
He enjoys eating. Like he enjoys eating really good food, right? So, but he's so expressive. It's crazy. But Steve,
that's hilarious. I would get a kick out of that.
Oh yeah,
you would get a kick out of the silver fox.
Oh yeah, you would. And you'll have to ask him that question. Hey, why do they call you the silver fox?
Okay.
Oh no. So, we had when you were talking to Nelson offline and before the show, and we appreciate you wanted to try out our sauces for your meals and cooking and trying it out. And I fucking laugh at this video. You received the video, the box, which I think is a fantastic post. You got like, you open it, you're showing each one of them, and you're trying to open the box. You couldn't fucking open it. And you stabbed it 1,000 times and opened it and that. And then
I have patience issues, and I didn't cut all the tape, so then I just had to rip it. And I was like, I'm not retaking this and retaping it, so let's just give her.
Yeah, just give it, right? And then the peri peri came out, and you did the behind the scenes. Behind the scenes thing. Oh, did we lose her? Sylvia?
We'll be back in a second.
Oh, hang on. Oh, there you are. Oh, you're back.
You're back.
That was weird.
That's okay.
Internet.
Internet's all good. That's what's great about live TV. Live, it's all great. You open up the peri peri. You're doing because you want to try out the sauces first, so you can feel and taste and see what you can cook with. And the peri peri, you took a spoonful, and I saw like it was almost overflowing on the spoon.
It was a spoonful.
Right. And you're like,
you went after it.
You did.
Was that your first time trying it?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm a big fan of authenticity and making it real. And if it wasn't going to go over well, I wouldn't have posted it, but I was going to record it.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
I love the fact that you weren't like dipping your toe in the pool. It was like, this fucking
dove in, man. You dove in and gave it to it.
And it was so flavorful and so good. And then all of a sudden, smack, the heat just hit me. And I was like, whoa. Oh, God. Okay. It's good. It's good.
The look on your face. If I could put the video up, I would fucking put the video up. You're putting it like.
The reaction was awesome.
Like, oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. Good job, guys.
It is really flavorful, and I actually did cook with it that day. That was like a behind the scenes little video, so there'll be a recipe coming with that sauce in it.
Awesome,
that'd be great. And we want to actually take that sauce, take that that video or the food recipe. Sorry, we'll post up on our website. It'd be great, and we'll feature that as well on because we love that. We love the fact that the influence and back and forth and how you would, plug us and we plug you. And it's all about network. And it's all about.
That's how it works. Yeah. That's how the word gets out,
Exactly. It's how it is,
Yeah.
So again, I appreciate that. I love it. And you had like over 3,000 views of that video within I don't know how many minutes or hours of you had that video up. 3,000 views. It was crazy. Oh, she got frozen again in that smile. She looks great. Yeah. She looks great in that little smile.
That's a better way of getting.
Well, she had like 3,000 views of this video, and it is unbelievable. And I want to talk to her about how she got to that, but hopefully she did not. She didn't. She'll come back to us in a few seconds here. But
this happens every day for me.
Does it really?
Oh yeah. It's yesterday I was in this work meeting, and it was
intense.
It was tense, and I was like mad, and I was waiting for like my moment to talk, and they're like, "You're frozen." You're frozen. Boy! And I was like, I'm like, this point is really gonna hit home,
right?
And they're like, Nelson, and I'm like, did you hear any of it?
Did you hear anything I said?
I had to like rewind the fucking tape in my head and play it back. It was terrible.
And that's the joys of Wi-Fi. And looks like she'll come back on and hopefully she's listening in. She has to click on our backdoor studio to get back in again. But hey, listen, obviously I don't want to end it like this. I want to see if she can come back on. I think she was a fantastic a guest to have about food photography, and that was the whole thing: is learning about her business, learning about what how she brands her business, and sharing stories about it, because it's not just about our business. We want to know what's happening with your business.
And that's what I like when I started to follow Sylvia's food photography. I can't even remember like when I first saw it, and then the photos are incredible,
right?
And it was following like her like work page, I believe, and then she talked about Silly Kitchen, and then the stuff she does in Silly Kitchen is great. So
it is
the recipes and just like the sheer joy of cooking that kind of comes out is really, really cool. So
no, she does. She's actually branded her business quite well, and her YouTube channel has it's got 2,000 followers, subscribers, and and it looks like she's been at it for only a year. Yeah. So, and what I wanted to talk to her about was like how she was getting branded, like what did she do social media wise. How did she get to that point? What did she do? Like, what were their hashtags? What were this? But I'm not too sure if we're going to see her back on tonight. I hope she's going to get back on, and and we'll see what goes on here. But
maybe she didn't pay her internet bill.
maybe Roger said, "Fuck you, you didn't pay
too much," or her dad called her and said, "Sylvia, too much swearing."
Too much swearing, Sylvia. Too much swearing. But I guess what we're going to do is I'm going to give away the get. Maybe you could just text her and see. Yeah. Tell her to just log back into that. But it's okay. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna give away that candle to a lucky viewer that is on the Instagram that did this posts and so forth. And so I wanted Sylvia to pick it out, but she has this amazing candle that smells like a maple bacon, and that alone had me at bacon. But a candle that smells like maple bacon. It's this new brand of candles that she is that she's brought out, and she graciously is giving away one of those candles to a lucky viewer for our free giveaway alert. You have to follow us on Instagram, and you have to like our post that we just put up there. So I'm going to give away this candle to a lucky winner, and I'm just going to be picking. It's just going to be random. So actually, you know what? I'm going to have Nelson. Nelson, you pick the winner of this of our candle. So we have down here. We have also all these people across down. It's just been blowing up here. I don't know that. Which one?
A bunch of the names I know, so I want to be fair about this whole thing.
You know this person?
No.
Well, listen.
Let's pick that person.
Okay, so the person that actually won the candle for tonight, we'll have we'll have that shipped off to you.
Unless she lives in Australia.
If she lives in Australia, then forget it.
Sylvia's paying for the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Instagram name looks like it's Dorothy Sinding. Just Dorothy. Let's just go with Dorothy. Dorothy, you are the winner of what does that one say? It's a long name.
Sinding GRMT.
Right, Dorothy. You are a winner of the candle for the prize tonight.
DM her.
We're going to DM her so that she will get it direct from us, and we'll have it sent out there. I would like to thank Nelson, my co-host for tonight.
Thank you, Dave,
for being on our podcast, and also our guest who just abruptly just fucking got up and just left this fucking show. I don't know what we said or did, but
I'm over these two donkeys.
Hold on a second. Just one more sec here. Look who is back. You fucking left us, man. What the hell went on?
My computer just went nutsoid on me.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'm on my cell phone right now as my laptop and my whole thing here is going nuts.
Throw that away.
I think the internet world is telling me that I'm talking too long.
It's your fridge.
It's your fridge.
It's that
Oh my
fridge.
God! You know, we actually gave away your candle to someone in Nigeria. No, I mean we just gave it to someone. We gave it to.
It's going to cost $3,000.
It's going to cost you like
you guys are the
$17,000.
best. That's so kind of you.
So how can people buy the candle?
Well, right now, so this is, again, like the Silly Kitchen is kind of new. So this is my very first branded product.
Wow.
So right now I'm just taking orders and people are sending me e-transfers. And then I have some really great other items coming down the pipeline. So I will have like a website available to buy stuff afterwards. But this is the first product, the first launch. So I'm just doing one big custom order.
Well, you're partnering with a local candle manufacturer to kind of do it?
Yeah, so they're locally made Homebody Candles, Canada, and they were actually a client of mine. So I did some photography work for them, and I was in love with their product. And they gave me one of the candles to take home after the photo shoot. See, even some of that stuff works out really great.
Right.
And I was just so impressed with how fragrant it was and how well it burnt. I was like, hey guys, could we partner up and do something for the Silly Kitchen and make a candle that smells like bacon and maybe something sweet? And here's my idea.
Cool.
And they came up with the scent and they nailed it.
That's friggin' awesome.
That's fantastic. Well, we gave it away to a listener, to a viewer on social media here that just bombarded our Instagram. Dorothy.
I know who that is.
You know her?
Yes.
Did you fix this fucking thing? You did.
You picked the winner, bud.
You text me. You privately text me saying, "You better pick this Dorothy girl." No, so Dorothy won the candle for. Okay, so and you will, and she'll. You'll deal with her on that. I'm going to direct message her, or you can tell her. But Dorothy,
she's actually local in Kitchener-Waterloo, so no worries.
Well, I want to thank everybody that's on that on the Instagram that sort of that followed all the rules, which is great. We've got some fantastic gifts to give away in the near future, and we got some great guests, such as Sylvia Pond. She's been fantastic, despite her computer that's probably 17 years old. This computer, and it just probably crashed out.
Are you cool with people reaching out? Like if people want to reach out, ask questions about.
Absolutely. I mean, I love my DMs in, either Sylvia Pond Photo on Instagram or the Silly Kitchen. I'm shamelessly plugging people to go over to YouTube because I'm very close to reaching a goal there. So if people want to give me some hours of watching, get on there and watch.
Right. What's the goal for YouTube?
What's that?
What's your goal on YouTube? Like your immediate.
So to get monetized on YouTube, you have to have 1,000 followers. So I checked that off a little while ago.
Okay, nice.
We saw that.
And you have to have 4,000 hours of people watching.
4,000.
Okay. 4,000 hours of total of all your videos that are up there.
So just people watching, whatever they're watching, if they're watching it once or twice or all the videos or some of the videos, they count the hours that are being watched, and you need 400 hours.
Does it count if your dad just keeps watching?
4,000.
4,000.
If your dad just keeps looping the same one, does that count?
It sure does.
Come on, Dad. Let's do it, buddy. You got it, Dad. You got this.
Yeah. They're on it.
So Silly Kitchen is the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Right.
Sylvia Pond is your website as well, right?
Sylvia Pond, yeah.
SylviaPond.com is my website, and at Sylvia Pond Photo on Instagram.
And if for an email wise, they can send you an email at Sylvia at SylviaPond.com.
Exactly.
And, they can ask you anything about anything, cooking, photography, whatever it may be, computer repairs, whatever. Whatever
Can I get an IT guy over here?
You're going to have like a flood of IT requests. I can help out with your bandwidth.
Here's what we charge. I want a candle. No. Listen, I really appreciate you coming on board. And just speaking of like, how's your drink going? Like, how's your drink?
It is so empty.
What?
Now I'm holding my damn cell phone, so.
Oh my God! So you can't. Oh well, you know what? We've got our drink, so fuck that.
Let's see. Does that look okay?
Perfect.
That's
Perfect. Free pour that bitch.
We'll pour another one.
Right.
And the brand of vodka again was
Luxusova.
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 Yes, potato vodka.
Sounds Russian.
You know, the Russians claim to have invented vodka, but I think we may have perfected it.
Okay. Yeah.
Luxusova. You can get that at the LCBO.
Na zdrowie.
Na zdrowie.
You get that at the LCBO?
Yuppers.
Okay, so we're going to put that link up there. Speaking of which, we have this great wine. I have a fantastic wine sponsors that send me wine and send me samples and send me bottles of wine. So,
you need to hook me up with one of those sponsors.
I'll hook you up, honey. No worries. We've got the Trapiche Medalla. It's a Cab Sav.
Oh, I've had that.
Have you really? Look at you.
The Trapiche, I think.
Yeah.
Is it? Did I say it right? How do you say it?
I don't know, but it's delicious.
Trapiche Medalla. It's a.
I'm gonna trust her on the pronunciation.
Yeah, it's an Argentinian wine.
Yeah.
It's a great wine. It
was delicious.
It's at the LCBO. I'm going to have all the links up on my website because we do get quite a bit of requests of people saying, "Hey, what kind of wine do you have on episode so and so, so and so?" So I'm going to put it up on the show on every episode. And it's at the LCBO. It's like $18. Doesn't matter what the fuck price it is.
$18. You went above Dino.
I went above Dino. Dino was 16 or 17. Yeah,
$17.50.
Yeah, he thought it was like the best fucking wine I ever seen.
It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. And you really don't. You cannot.
He did a way better job pronouncing the wine.
Yeah, I did. You know, I don't
Ripasso. He went really Italian.
Yeah, he did. He brought his roots. He brought his little dialect out there. Anyways, this wine is at the LCBO, $17.95. So I'll put the links up on there, as well as I'm going to put your links of your vodka, your potato vodka, and we'll put some. And I want to get some recipes also put up on our site of drinks, food. I'll get some of those for you later on because we actually want to feature some of your recipes that you've used our sauces on, and which is really cool.
The peri one is coming out probably next week sometime, so not too long from now.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing.
And the heat came down a little bit as you cooked with it?
No.
It's funny because I find normally, I guess it depends how you cut it. Tracy, my wife, doesn't love heat, but she'll cook with a peri just because it brings it down a little bit.
I found it perfect for the dish that I was making, and I didn't have to add any other aromatics or flavors or anything like that because I just used. And I if I hadn't tasted it before trying it, I probably would have used more. But I'm glad I tried it because the heat level was perfect for what I was doing. So yeah.
Did you do a teaspoon or a tablespoon in that video?
It was a teaspoon, thank goodness.
Oh my God! It looked
like a heaping teaspoon.
It was literally gonna overflow. It was a heaping teaspoon for sure.
I love the look on your face, man. I think I'm gonna screen capture it and put it up on our site. And, I see you have tattoos on your arms.
I do. Well, if you can see it through the weird shadows that I'm creating now, but I have a guitar, and I have a tragically hip quote on my arm as well.
Oh my God, how cool are you, man?
Which line is it?
It says, "No dress rehearsal, this is our life."
Yeah, awesome.
And I got it, I think, maybe 2 weeks after he passed.
Wow, rest in peace, Gord Downey, man.
Yeah. So a big music tattoo. I've got a cheese tattoo. I've got a fork, knife, and spoon. I can't really get it on camera, but it's a lot of food and music on my arm.
I love it. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. I mean, you
guys have some?
We got a few. I mean, I got the typical fucking armband one, and then I want to get some more put on. I do want to get my. I do like scripture. I do like music sayings. I'm gonna get a nice music saying on my wrist, going up my forearm.
Awesome.
Just I'm a music guy.
Yeah.
I'm a car guy, but I'm more music. So I like positive scripture of music and how that works. And I'd love to get my kids' names on my my arms as well. And
you have a lot of tattoo plans.
Yeah, I do. I'm not a sleeve guy. I'm not into that at all. I don't like sleeves. But I do like tattoos that mean, and listen, sleeves mean a lot to certain people, but that's my preference, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have two. I have like a sun on my chest, and then on my right shoulder, I have it's a bit of a mishmash. It's like a skull, hockey sticks. It has the vava, which is grandmother, daffodils for cancer because my mom fought cancer twice.
Wow.
And 2 knives for cooking. So like I remember when I got it, the tattoo artist is like, "Is this your first tattoo?" I'm like, "No, it's not my fucking first tattoo." I thought so much about it, and I remember when he drew it out. I was like, "Oh my god, that's exactly what I would want to kind of capture." But yeah, I think it's a cool.
I think it means it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I mean, my kids who are 18 and up, 18 and 23. I got 3 boys actually, so they range from there. And
almost 18.
Almost 18. Well, yeah, almost 18. But anyways, listen, they all talk about tattoos, and some of their buddies already have some, and I'm not opposed to it. I do like it. I mean, I told them, I said, listen, when you get yours, when you think about getting one, I'll go with you.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll go with you and I'll get mine done. Right. So,
yeah, no, Reese, my kids just got, so my daughter's got 4 now, I think. So Reese is 20, third year university. So she has like she has like a little snowflake on her arm. She went to Ireland with my sister-in-law and brother-in-law. She got a shamrock when she was there. And then she just did, when my son turned 18, he went up to visit her in Peterborough, and they went together to go get tats. So she got like an old school TV because she watches a ton of TV with my father-in-law. That's kind of like their thing. And then he got like his name on his arm. So, but they were like hell bent, and I was like, I wanted to do the same thing. I'm like, I want to go with you, and I know exactly what I want to get next. I want to get like a lighthouse on my shoulder, blah blah blah. And they're like, we're gonna do it together. And the fact that they went together, the 2 of them, was awesome.
Perfect.
Like, as much as I wanted it to do something with my son, but they're like, the fact that the siblings went was freaking great.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm all for it. Like I'll still go with them, or I'll end up going alone. Whatever, it's gonna happen. Maybe you and I will go get our tattoo. We'll hold hands. We'll fucking get a tattoo together. Who knows?
Or we'll just get tattoos.
We'll just get tattoos. That's right. That's what we're gonna do. Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
We can hold hands if you want, Dave. But.
Hi guys. No. So, when it comes to the small businesses, and I talk about this on my podcast, and you see it there. How is Kitchener affected by the COVID? Like, I mean, after this whole shutdown thing, and Kitchener being, actually it's a small town, but it's actually pretty big. I mean, it's
high town.
We've grown a lot since I moved here. I mean, it used to be just a little city, and now it's grown so immensely. And we've had some really big tech business come here.
Right.
We have a lot of I feel like Kitchener-Waterloo definitely has a huge small business community when it comes to independent restaurants, bakeries. Right. Gyms and those types of facilities, all independently owned. Mm-hmm. And I think we thrive off of that, and we have a very supportive community, but holy shit, has the last year taken a toll on so many industries.
Oh yeah.
It pisses me off. It's crazy seeing that.
It's heartbreaking.
It is heartbreaking. I mean, I get so angry. I want to drink a lot of tequila right now I'm so mad with our fucking government. And I have a good friend of mine. She has a cafe on the Danforth. She's getting, it's affecting a lot of people in the small businesses, and she's going to fight for it actually. But it's tough seeing that, and especially when you're in your city and you see what's going on out there. Things have come to, let's say, for instance, the music industry has come to a standstill, and that affects everything from you as a photographer to the venue to wherever it's going to be,
and everybody else.
Yeah, exactly. It is a standstill, and they're even
I think there's a lot of voices, raising a lot of concerns for a lot of industries, but you mentioned the entertainment industry, and I don't think there's a lot of voices talking about how since the pandemic, things like concerts, live theater, just any of those types of industries, how hard they've been affected, and they haven't had even a little inkling of a reprise. It's just been completely shut down for them. So all of those people out of work, looking for new careers, because at this point it's been over a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Having a big group setting like that, whether it's on stage or in the crowd, is still something that's a bit far away from what I can see. And that's heartbreaking too. And I mean, and I feel for the food industry, because that's something really close to me. And it's been a roller coaster. It's been open, close, patio, no patio, yes, takeout. So it's a roller coaster for them too. And I mean, I don't want to shit on government, because I have no idea what I would do if I was in that position. But the thing that I know is what I can do and what I can do as an individual, and is to support the people in any way that I can. Go grab takeout, help them do shout outs on social media, let people know about what's going on in the community. And if everybody does a little bit, we can figure it out.
There's ways of managing it correctly, or just provide, like you said it, like, shout out to small businesses. I mean, like there was just no need to shut down the small businesses at all. No need for that. They could have handled it a little differently. And I think that, and that could have happened last year, right in the beginning, and I'm not going to get into the politics side, because that's another separate thing. So I'm not worried about it. I do express my anger towards the government for creating these rules and forcefully closing down businesses for good. And these businesses will never reopen again.
Yeah, in some cases, yeah.
In some cases, most of them will reopen.
Here we've seen people close up, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's tough. I mean, I hate that. I hate seeing that. But in the end, Sylvia, positive things are going to turn around. We are going to get back to where we were. I think, and I don't like saying the new normal, because there is no such thing as a new normal. For me, in my opinion, I think the way that society is, the way the government, and the way the Ontario Health Association, or Canadian Health Association, or all that bullshit, how they want us to make us feel, put the scare on us. I think we could go back to what we used to be. I think the thing that might stay with us for a while is the masks. And you look at the mask situations. Mask, to me, when we saw people wearing a mask, is because they were sick, not because they were trying to stop themselves from getting sick. They were sick. Now it's the other way around. Now we got to fucking wear it just for this, so we don't get sick. But it's just something that it's very political views about it, and I'm not going to get involved in it, because that's not what our show's about. Our show's about you, and you, and I got the monitor on this side over here.
Where the camera is. Is that where the
we got the camera here. I got a fucking light there. I got a monitor over there.
I've been looking here.
Oh, Nelson, there you are.
The one thing I do hope that kind of stays after everything goes back to a level of normalcy is the amount of time people have spent with their families, right, and cooking.
Right.
Like, if nothing else, like, there's probably been this, like, entrenchment to learn. Right. And, I was getting sick and tired of people, like, making their own sourdough at the beginning, but I never did. But
I never did. Nope.
Because baking sucks. I did make some. I did make some pasta. Yeah.
I did try baking. I had to try baking, but I did not do the 36-hour bread thing. Nope.
Yeah, naming your sourdough starter. I don't get it. I'm not going to, begrudge anyway. But I hope that people kind of keep that, at least, if nothing else, right? And I think we've been lucky.
I think just finding the silver lining in our day to day, and like the Silly Kitchen was a savings grace for me. Like, when everything shut down last year, I wasn't able to work for over 3 months, and it's still shitty weather outside in March, and like I was sitting on the couch and going to the fridge and watching a lot of TV. And, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get off my ass and I'm going to film a couple episodes and I'm going to create and I'm going to go get inspired with some recipes. And I know a lot of people took to cooking, but a lot of other people, found other activities and found other hobbies to kind of do at home. And I do hope that that's been, somewhat stimulating for people getting through this.
Yeah, I hope so too. Like, I think we talked about this last week a little bit. It's like, if before this all started, you said, hey, there's going to be a moment in time that's going to give you an opportunity to really allow you some time to throw yourself into whatever you're passionate about, cooking, music, drawing, your family, would you consider supporting that? Most people would be like, yeah. So, I'm like a perpetual half full guy all the time. My glass is not half full right now. We run out of wine.
That's a different issue.
but legitimately for me, like, I think we talked about this before we came on the camera, is like, I can't wrap my head around being like, there's so much energy wasted being angry and being begrudging shit and not being like appreciative for what you have. And, you were talking about, your parents' immigration story. And I remember right at the beginning of COVID, like, we hadn't shut down yet. And I had a chance to, my cousin, my cousin Val, her youngest daughter, Raquel, and my other cousin's daughter, Vienna, they had bought a house together. So 2 first cousins bought a house together with one of the boyfriends. And we're there, like a little open house. And it was the weekend where you're being warned about visiting. And we said, fuck it. Like these girls were like my flower girls. And I wanted to sell, like, I helped them a little bit, do some stuff in their house before they had this open house. I wanted to celebrate with them. And I was talking to my cousin John, and he told me about his family living in Terceira after the earthquake. And he's like, yeah, like we, the earthquake happens in Terceira. And I barely remember this. Like, I remember, like, I was a kid. My parents talked about it. And at one point they were living in a fucking school bus. Like, they were living in a school bus. They lived in the school gym. And then they would leave the gym at, 6:30 to go, because the janitors, they come and prep to school.
Right.
And then he's telling me this, and I'd never heard it before. And it freaked me out. And he came to Canada as a refugee. And I was like, what? Like, I'm hearing people complain about their internet bandwidth. Like, shut the fuck up.
Right. No kidding. I know.
This guy lived in a fucking bus,
with nothing.
Yeah. And I used to bug him for his terrible mustache when I first met him. But in all honesty, it completely floored me. And it kind of and every time that I sit during this whole pandemic, and I'm ridiculously lucky, we launched a company in the middle of this. I work in an industry that is considered, pseudo essential, and I get to work with entrepreneurs all day long, and their business is rocking. So I'm crazy fortunate. But anytime that I have a moment where I'm like, oh my God, this is so trying, I think back to John talking about living in a fucking school bus.
Right.
Like I'm worried that, God, we finished Vikings. What are we going to watch now? Like, it's crazy.
I know.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's the society just, but it evolves. Like everything evolves around, it evolves higher and higher to like basic to what we are now. And, it's tough. You know what? Listen, we're all going to make it through this.
Yeah.
And I just listen, Sylvia. I want to thank you for being part of our show today. It was awesome having you on board.
Thanks for answering my DM.
I want to thank you guys for having me on. This was a really fun experience, and I genuinely, well, I have to cook with the other 3 sauces, but I genuinely love the product that I've tried so far. And it's so beautiful that even in a time like this, we can make connections like this, and we can have these conversations, even if it's virtually, because it's positive and it's awesome and it's cool. And I'm all for this. This is very cool. I can't wait to see who else you guys have on.
You want to do a plug for next week?
Oh, of course, we're going to do a plug for next week. So next week, we have it's actually Nelson's cousins,
near and dear to my heart.
And they're called the Good Pantry Food, and they actually were featured. They went on the Dragon's Den
2 summers ago, and they have this great product that they have an all natural buttercream. They like inspired. I remember when I heard about what they were doing, and my cousin Anne, who lives in Parry Sound, and Lucy and Rose, who live in Mississauga and Etobicoke. They had formed a company, and it was awesome to kind of hear what their journey. Right. And they're on Dragon's Den. They're super successful.
Right.
They've launched in retail. They have a lot of good stuff going, and they've been really, really helpful to us.
Yeah.
So we wanted to give them a shout out.
Yeah, for sure.
I think part of this platform as well was also to do that, right? Is like, we went through this journey last year trying to figure shit out, and a lot of people helped us. And we thought, you know what, if we could get people on this podcast to talk about what they did and how they formed their business, maybe other people kind of learn from it as well. So, and plus we get to meet really cool people.
Right.
So.
It helps if you could help that one person, and that's all it takes.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So next week we have the Good Pantry Food.
We won't speak Portuguese.
We won't speak Portuguese. No. We want to reiterate our new times. It is Wednesday nights at 9:30. That show is going to be, it's going to be pre-recorded. Okay. So it won't be live, but it'll be on at 9:30, aired at 9:30. Now still be live afterwards, doing a live music set afterwards. All the web links will be all on the website. The wine links. We're going to catch us on Spotify. So our podcast tonight is going to be all on Spotify for tomorrow. Sylvia, so it'll be kind of cool. I want you to share the links and share everyone. All the videos will be on my site, which I'll send to you, but also Google Podcast and Spotify Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. Say that 10 times. Holy fuck.
Dave's had more wine than I have.
Yeah, I've had more wine. Like I drink fucking wine like water. So, listen, Sylvia, thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. We wish you nothing but the best in success, business, family, whatever it may be. We wish you all the best, and we really appreciate you taking your time out on a Wednesday. It's just after 11. We talked for over an hour and 42 minutes, and
it's been way past my bedtime.
Is it really? Wow. I'm playing fucking music till whenever. So I'm a late nighter. So I'm going to play some music and I'm going to have Nelson crack open a bottle of wine, and we'll listen to music and we'll go from there. But again, listen, thank you so much. We'll get together again soon. You're going to be maybe coming down to the studio. Maybe we'll go to your kitchen. We'll do a live show in your kitchen or a live show in June. You're going to come in June. Fuck it. You're going to see us in June at the Cheese Boutique.
I'm coming. You had me at cheese.
Buy a wheel of cheese.
Big fucking massive cheese. What's your favorite cheese anyways?
All of them.
All of them. I love that answer.
They have all of them there. Oh my Polish song at the Cheese Boutique eating cheese.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh man, listen, you go get some sleep because that vodka is probably kicking in right now for you. The wine hasn't kicked in at all.
So we're gonna pee so bad.
Well, I love it. On that note,
we can say bye then.
Yeah. So listen, everyone who's tuning in tonight, thank you. We're gonna still keep it live. I'm gonna switch to a different camera. I'm gonna kick Sylvia off this camera, and we're gonna play some music. Sylvia, thank you so much for Thank you so much for being there.
Thanks,
and we appreciate it very much. So all the best, and we'll talk to you soon.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Ciao.